Kia ora whānau.
Ora muli morning everybody.
I'm the Bro-E,
Budda Bux here,
and this is River Yarns.
where you tuned in with the brothers out here this morning on the tune of a river, Rockhampton, Durumble country.
And we're going to be talking about the dysfunction and trauma in our lives while we walk and share our message.
Also a further deeper dive into issues and complexity that us men face, and also share stories of empowerment, resilience, and give wise words of encouragement to our people out there.
And what is the message today?
If you're alive, you're watching this, you're tuning in this morning, you're alive, you're well, every day above it's a blessing. So get up, get out there, be the change you want to see, give that energy.
This is
River
Yarns.
Yarns.
Morning whānau.
Morning, fuckers.
How are we? We're out here getting some sun, out here in the sunshine, about to record our first. This is our first episode. We've actually gone through a couple of me and the brother, and as we start diving into it, we realise that the topics that we're actually talking about are quite deep. We've been really unpacking our own things that we've been through, which get quite serious. So we had to just take a minute to step it back, because it's very important as we start discussing these topics, that we're also men of action.
That's it, my bro. Like, you know, we encourage you more about that, you know, instead of shooting people down, you know, like, trust us at what they do, and you know, like, even get some inspiration, because what they may be trying to do is maybe trying to deal with themselves or you know, help themselves to help outside their circle. So I think that's the message in that as well too, you know, like, stop, you know, if you're judging thing on unknowing, you know, get up, go out and find out what you think. Ask yourself, what can I do? Morning, you mob, have a deadly day. Morning, my brother, have a deadly day. Morning, sister. Strutting that stuff, eh? Doing your flitting. Winning that morning, eh? That's the way. Yeah, so as we were just saying, you know, before shooting somebody down, you know, find out what they're doing, but also too, you know, like, as we were just saying, before you go out and hold these things or share these conversations or you know, in hope to promote conversations, you must share your own story as well too, because that's, you know, that's what builds more greater appreciation for thing, and it's another tool of inspiration. So yeah.
And for us, because we're sharing our stories and we're actually starting this, we also need to make sure that both Budda Bux and I are going through the necessary cultural protocols and the practices that we need to ensure that what we're unpacking, we're also letting it go, so that we can move forward on our journey and on our mission in life and what we're trying to achieve. So we just wanted to make sure that what we're doing isn't something that we're just trying to throw out here just for the fun of it. We've realised that what we've got to say, a lot of men have been trying to say. So we're going to give you our best and 113 of our honest heart, and let you know that what we're unpacking and talking about and what we're preaching, the brother and I are doing ourselves. We are actively out here. We've got the world against us as well. We've been stabbed in the back a million times. We've been gone through our own traumas in life.
And because we're not made with the mold from like the majority is, you know, we're sort of judged upon differently, or, you know, we got to remember we're so diverse in this world that we live in. You know, even our warriors were diverse. So, you know, I think that's what we've got to remember here, you know, is you know, the path that we're taking to get to thing, we're all trying to head to the same destination, and that's greatness and prosperity. So, you know, however, the route that we're choosing to take is maybe a little bit unorthodox, but we're heading to that same destination, and that's to see warriors alive and thriving. None of this the men with worries, you know. So we're trying to, this is a movement we're trying to build. The mission is a movement to see men being more productive and instead of destructive, being fulfilling their roles in their families, duty of care in community, but also mentoring and fulfilling that duty of care to the families, you know, our little ones. Me and my brother here spoke about we must look within to share, you know, to inspire our young ones, because we must remember we were young once upon a time, and we must remember how difficult our start was. So, you know, I think enough's enough. We're taking this, you know, we're taking this front foot forward now.
And enough of listening to the world talk about us as angry black men, just because they don't like the way we look, talk and dress within their communities. You know, so the first thing we're going to do for our first couple is we're actually going to share our story, so that people that are listening and watching know who we are and a little bit of our background, because it's not about us, it really is about yous that are listening, but we just want to share with you so that yous feel safe. If yous decide to come down and have a yarn to us, that you're safe with us and that we empathise. Like, something I learnt was you can't dry somebody's eyes if you never cried. So the first thing we're going to do today is we're going to go over with the Budda Bux and what he's been up to in his life, his little journey thus far and where he's going. So first off, my brother, who your mob, where you from? And what you up to?
Ooh, bro, I got a big mob just like yourself and like all your other mob that's tuning in out there. Yeah, Warrabinda mission, through and through, proper black fella, you know. I think the first 12 years of my life was just Warrabinda, that's all I knew, you know. The first 11 years of my life, all I knew was just Warrabinda. My family, I'm proud Gia Ngaru, man. Birigaba tribe, Birigaba nation, what's it called? My grandfather's, my mother's father, families from all the way to Oakvale, all the way down to Sherbig, and that's the same way on my father's father's side, my father's mother's side, my father's mother from Sherbig, his father's from out Springshaw way, my mother's mother, Warrabinda, Cullerley way, out West way. So yeah, my mob, like, you know, being a Warrabinda or coming from the mission, it's a brother community to all other Aboriginal communities in Queensland, as we know that they're also spread down to Victoria, you know, all across the state. So yeah, you know, our communities are like a melting pot of culture, man. So yeah, definitely proper black fella from the mission, you know, but deadly black fella striving, thriving for greatness, my brother. So yeah, my family spread all over. Live here in Rocky, you know, all my mob here in Rocky as well too. CQ, Rocky, Binda, Murray. Yeah, my brah.
We'll just let this lady go first. That's Sterling, my brother. And you've got, look, while you're just talking on that, my brother, you still have a lot involvement with your communities, don't you, my brother?
Oh yeah, bro. Oh yeah, like
where'd the journey begin? Let's go there. Let's talk about where your journey began and the direction it's taken you, if you don't mind sharing, my brother.
Ooh, well, as I said there, you know, all started in Warrabinda.
We can slim in, brother. We can slim in.
Morning, brother. Morning.
Oh,
nah, my brother, nah, bro.
No, good. We're out here
bro,
trying to get the sunshine.
You're riding a bike, you dirty ass. You shouldn't be smoking this time of the morning. get to your destination, then have a smoke. Fuck you. Go on, my brother, have a deadly day. Sharing that deadly vibe, bro. That's what we're gonna do. Be the change we want to see. Sharing that deadly, you know. But yeah, as I was saying, back to what I was saying. Yeah, Warrabinda boy, you know, grew up. First 11 years of my life, you know, pretty much there. I could say, yeah, 10, 11 years of my whole life was just Warrabinda. That's all I knew, and I only knew like other shit, you know, the other brother communities. That's all I ever knew. You know, I knew I had cousins in Rocky, and so I was rich. You know, grew up rich in culture.
Sorry, my brother, I don't want to cut you off because we aren't just trying to focus on culture, but because we're not doing that, our audience is quite mainstream as well.
Yep.
Can you just give the people an understanding of where Warrabinda is and how Warrabinda come to be? Because I think that's a good story to tell as well.
Yeah. So, well, as I was just saying, Warrabinda's an Aboriginal community set up, say two and a bit hours southwest of Rockhampton. Brother community for Sherbig, Aboriginal community, Palm Island, Yarrabah, all the way up to the island. So like our communities from all these different communities. So they were made up from mobs around that area, the local tribes, and then mobs from, say, the islands, Hopevale, Gulf of Carpentaria, all the way out that way. You know, what's it called? Mornington Island, all got shifted in to these missions, and then these missions were segregation camps, you know, trying to cheap labor source and all that shit, but also rope our children into the system and try, as we know, you know, in the system eyes, they got these intentions, but you know, where you see good, there's always bad as well too. So
yeah, amen, brother.
But with that mob, you know, it amazed me because like I've always wondered how come we had mob here, there, you know, and I'm Warrabinda, like, you know, and being rich in culture, I realized it was being rich in culture, you know, like as I was saying, first 10, 11 years of my life was just being Warrabinda, you know, so back then, like even back there, I've never known my brothers or cousins to be, I never even acknowledged the word cousin, because that was not a normal thing to us, you know. So, you know, if you bleed the same blood, come from the same line of DNA, that's your mob, you know. So if my brother's children think that's my children too. So
yep.
As I was saying about duty of care,
good,
you know,
brother.
so
that's good.
Sharing, yeah, I was rich in culture, man. Like, you know, you dancing, hunting, a lot of these stuff. But as we were saying, like, where there's a lot of good, there's always bad there too. So, you know, and that's all areas of society, man. Not just you know, Aboriginal community and you know, the disadvantaged community. So yeah, the first 11 years was there, you know, going to school there, growing up, riding horses. It wasn't until I actually came, until my dad got kicked out of Wurri. So my early, you know, I got kicked out of Wurri for violence and stuff. So he got sent to, you know, not got sent, he got kicked out of Wurri. So we moved up to Blackwater. So, you know, it wasn't really until then I started seeing like, whoa, there's a life outside of Wurri, you know, like, you know, this is how we do our work. This is how you got to engage. This is how you got to change your way of speaking, because, you know, like, people misinterpret and stuff like that there. But, well,
that sounds challenging, brother.
Oh, yeah, bro. It was like emotionally, spiritually, you know, like, you know, you as a young fella, you don't even put these barriers in front of yourself. As they say, no kid's born with discrimination or any of that stuff, you know. So, like, there was always good intentions there, but you always felt, oh, I'm a bit different, you know, like, how come compared to the majority. So, but yeah, you know, as you go, you grow. You know, I think I'd like to go back again, bro. So what started it all was where the passion, you know, of this my activism and you know, stuff in community, my involvement came from them old people. You know, my mum and dad, you know, involved with the drugs and alcohol, domestic violence, you know, like back in the 90s, you know, a lot of the 80s vibes still stuck around in the 90s and stuff like that there. So, you know, very toxic household. You know, mum and dad always, you know, loved us and stuff like that there, but their capacity to, you know, unpack shit in a healthier manner was not on the forefront, my bro, you know?
Yeah, brother, I understand it. It makes it can, even though what they're dealing with and how they've been shown to live, it makes it unsafe for us.
Yeah, that's right, my bro. You know, and I think, like, as I was saying, that it was not their intentions to be disruptive or destructive, but, you know, as things go, that starts to grow as more too. So, you know, one thing led to another. A lot of that domestic violence and stuff started filtering out into my, you know, my behavioral stuff. I started seeing a lot of that stuff. On top of that, you know, with bullying and stuff like that. See, I hung around with, you know, when I'd feel, because, you know, I feel that I was pretty academic, you know, but then because of these challenges, you know, your mum get busted up, your dad, this, you know, all this negative stuff, you know, so like, you go into self-doubt, you know, all this stuff starts to affect you, you know, and because of these impacts of, you know, trauma and domestic violence and that, bro, like, it really fucks with your confidence, you know. So you still go, you know, you go and you grow and you got no intentions to, because you can't show that vulnerability to dad because dad's masculine, you know. A lot of my uncles or big bros are, you know, masculine. Like, as I was saying, that 80s vibe was just still thriving in that 90s, you know, like dominance and stuff like that. So,
well, the ladies were only 10 years into the referendum by then. So
Yep, that's right.
And people don't just change overnight. It's not like mainstream Australia wanted the referendum.
That's right, my bro, you know. So, you know, like, I reckon third generation of alcoholism, third to fourth generation of alcoholism, mental health, you know, impacts of trauma and suffering and silence, bro. That fucking suffering and silence, a big one, eh?
Yep.
So yeah, you know, as I was saying, I experienced a lot of bullying and stuff. My mum and dad was always in jail, but, you know, I'd always have these good people in my life. You know, if you clear the muck, there's always good people around you, you know. So all good things happen.
There's always another warrior on the same mission trying to get out of it, just like you.
Yes, my bro. So, you know, with my grandfather being the change, you know, and I think that's the thing I've realized as a dad now in the here and now, like, a lot of our elders wait until later on down, and until later on in life when they've realized, oh fuck, I wasted a lot of time. Like if you're one of those uncles or nephews that are thinking, sitting on that fence, oh fuck, I know I can be the change I want to see. Get up, go out there and be that fucking change you want to see. Self-determination, but like nothing's gonna change for us until we get up and do it.
Sister.
So yeah, like the grandfathers, we had the grandfathers there being the change that they wanted to see, and my uncles and a lot of them fellas getting into anti-social behaviors, identity crisis. So the stock, a lot of the Australian stock, the Australian beef industry is built on the backbone of black fellas, bro.
Yep.
So we in the regional remote areas, we big on horseback, hunting, camping and all that stuff, so we it's another tool of therapeutic release. It's another way to cultural maintaining of these practices and stuff. But it's a hard yakka, man. Like as you come to find out, you want to be a part of this, you got to be accountable, boy. Yep. We cruising out, get up early, move around. Hey, you want lunch, you make your own lunch, fuck yeah, like.
Yep.
Really mentorship, but an old school mentorship. Yep. So yeah, I've had the opportunity to be mentored by them. Also went on to be in programs such as the Bandit Riding program, which I'm 1% of outcome that hadn't went to jail or juvie, so which is a sad thing. Most of those brothers that come through there, same like myself, disadvantaged or not so good start. A lot of them have, either completed suicide now, morning brother, mental health, suffer with mental health, domestic violence and a lot of that stuff, unstable living, homelessness. So like these programs, they shoot up, bro. And you get, just like them old people, you have one person every generation, that steps up and give 113, just like these programs, Yep. Pops up, have these good early intervention ideas and goals and all this shit. But where it fails is it fails with investment into these staff. These staff members that they employ aren't competent in what they're trying to deliver.
Back to that, if you never cried, you can't dry it. Most of these people got these educations, they've never cried in their life. They've had privileged background. Even our mob, most of our mob that run these programs at the top, they had great lives.
Bro, we was only talking about it the other day. Like they get they lose their passion, man. Like because these infrastructures are preset. I'm just gonna conform to it. I got all this passion and gold. Fuck it, I'm just gonna conform to it, bro. Like, what's beauty without that pain?
Yeah.
If you're not willing to work, really, what's it worth?
Yep.
You get a blessing every day, man, to look around you and find something positive to remind you to continue moving forward, or something you did yesterday to keep moving forward today. So. Yep.
Yeah, and a lot of our mob that are out there that are running these programs who have done well in life, who preach, hard work, work together, fight through it, don't just ignore, are the same people pointing fingers and stabbing us in the back. And we got to stop this, because the only way we're going to get our brothers that have gone through what me and the brother have gone through out of where we are is by sticking together. Not just throwing us in the bin,
camaraderie,
like the mainstream community does.
It's a movement. You got to build a movement behind you, or join a movement, because only by stepping outside of our circle, we're able to, if we do one thing different every day, we're able to see a different outcome every afternoon. So the sun sets in the afternoon with the promise of tomorrow, a better tomorrow.
Oh, amen, my brother.
So
that's good.
With these programs now, they pop up and they good thing, man. Like it was early intervention, pre-prep for the big world as young adolescents going into the future, whatever, So as I was saying about that trauma stuff, like it masks, you go and you grow, the older you get, you go and you grow. There's around all these traumatic experiences or things that I've endured over the time. I've witnessed some, some horrific shit, and I've even, I'm not proud of some of the shit that I've been engaged in or had to be a part of, So like, can't live on the past or sit there and linger in self-pity. We've got to continue to keep moving, you know.
Strong
so
words, brother,
even with
strong.
these fucking services that are shooting us down, or our mentors that have lost their passion, you know, our elders that have lost their drive. But yeah, so you know, when these the programs come through with these good intentions, like I've been, you know, a lot of us Murrays that were a part of that program been traumatized, 3rd, 4th generation, deep in you know, like not lingering and or not realizing capacity could be, or we're worthy of greatness.
Oosh.
So yeah, like
well, we're just dealing with what you've got going, like, because we've unpacked a lot of trauma together, and both of us have been through, you know, all the kinds of abuse that kids and young men should never have to go through. But you've managed, brother, to keep resilient, passionate, and purposeful. How have you managed to take your trauma and turn it into something that you could use as energy to get you to where you are today?
ooh, I think those letdowns, bro.
Yep.
You know, those lone nights, my brother. You know, like a lot of you warriors out there, a lot of you young fellas that's gonna be tuning into this. Lone nights, my brother. Sitting there, you know, I remember times where I've been close to completing it, bro.
Yep.
You know, and I looked around. I remember crying for over an hour or longer than that. You know, like, and waiting for somebody to rock up with hope, a small glimpse of hope. Somebody gonna rock up.
Someone to fight.
No one rock up, bro.
Yeah.
And then the more you sit there, you linger and think, you know, like, wonder how many people, you know, like I had the capacity to look past that. Like, I wonder how many other people suffering like this, you know?
Yep.
A lot of people don't have that capacity to think, you know, it's like, well, fuck, I've been abused. I don't have a good stable home. I don't have any positive role models to be inspired by, you know? So the glimpse of hope is very slim. So like, that's where a lot of mine come from, was the letdowns and stuff like that. They, you know, the good people that we've, even my experience with these services, but they were caca, but you had some good people within those services that had good traits, man, you know, like persistence, compromise to get, you know, for the greater good and stuff like that there, my bro. Like, a lot of that, you know, like I grew up, like I said, I grew up knowing how proud I should be, but also what a proud Murray man seems to be, like, you know, in my thing. But yeah, a lot of that the inspiration come from the impacts of trauma, you know, like seeing a woman getting raped, you know, at a young age, you know, it really fucked my mind up, bro, you know, like causing me trust issues, because when I did, I ran out, I was like, she getting raped in there. And you know, the mob there, because it was at a house party and we were young fellas, like I was going to look for the brothers, and you know, we were all used to ride horses back then. I went to this the brother place. Where Arnie, where thing? Mom, where brother? I'm not in the room there. Walked in the room and then walked in that, and fuck, man, scarred me for life, you know. And then, because there were mob outside, I walked straight, hey, bro, she getting thing in there. This is at the age of, what, 11, 12, when we just probably moved back to Worry.
Yep, so just becoming into a young man.
Yeah, my bro, it was at that vital age where, you know, where you're transitioning, bro. A lot of, you know, your body hormones are changing, your spirituality starting to intensify and stuff like that there, you know, so balls dropped, you know, so yeah, it was just, it was at a vital age where it should not happen, you know?
Yeah.
So.
And many of our young men out there, especially as we've started this, we've realised, you know, we're definitely not the only ones out there with these stories and the impacts that, and the results in our lives from these impacts from a young age. But for you, my brother, you've actually managed to take some of this trauma and release it in a way that's helped you to achieve some things that you've achieved, like your poetry. A lot of people know about your music, but, you know, getting to talk with you over a couple of weeks, you actually started in poetry first, is that correct?
Yes, my brother. So I started, like, as I was saying, and now, like, in the earlier days, that's where it really gained from, you know, like, when I first moved out of Worry and come to Rocky, you know, like, it was always about footy, you know, following the All Blacks dreams, shut up, you know, making friends that way, you know, like socializing, you know, just living life at 100, socializing, you know, creating, you know, just being happy-go-lucky, you know, and you don't realize you're self-medicating a lot, you know?
Yes.
The happy chap that you become when you're intoxicated with drugs, alcohol, you can, like I said to my brother the other week, man, I feel fucking high on life right now, you know? If you look around your environment, there's these amplifiers, like if we engage in, you know, spiritual circles or the gym or the footy thing, you know, like you can become rich and high on life, you know? So being intoxicated, you know, like really, you know, I hated the feeling of, fuck, I got no more money, you know, fuck, spent all my Centrelink money in one day, like at a young age, not being taught the tools of money manage and all this shit, you know, like, you know, better prepared for the big, I graduated, bro. First in my family to graduate. So like, you know, you go through all this hurdle to come out and you still don't fucking know how to navigate the world. My first 3 years out of school, I spent in a house by myself. Like I lived with my cousin, but they'd always go back to worry for the first 3 years, you know, and bro, that fucked me up. It was equivalent to like living in a fucking, or spending the time in a watch house, you know, because you're all alone. You know, fucking, you could hear 1,000 thoughts, and yeah, so like that's where a lot of this come from was feelings of loneliness, letdowns. How many other people could be going through this? So, you know, the impacts of being traumatized through violence and all that stuff. You know, engaging in risky behaviors and antisocial behaviors and stuff, self-destructive.
And that's what was able to put your mind on paper. Because
Yes,
I've never
my
met
bro.
a brother that's done poetry, my
Yeah,
brother.
my bro. Well, bro, see, that's what I was gonna say. You know yourself, my bro. Like in our region here in Central Queensland, that's not even a fucking thing, man.
No,
like,
absolutely
where
not.
you know people to do poetry
I don't
in
know
our
anyone,
region.
brother. You're my first.
Even in my communities, bro. Like, yeah, we know bands and that. Like, we know all the bands and that. But like, even hip hop, man. Hip hop wasn't a big thing. Like, we had our brothers. We
Yeah,
had our
black
brothers.
connections.
You know? We had our
We had
brothers,
black
but
connections.
you know, like. Even that, man, well, even those boys, you know, like weren't fully confident and all that, you know, so didn't have that exposure opportunity. So, yeah, bro, all these letdowns and shit is like, fuck, you know, like at first it was all about the footy dream, and as I was saying, you know,
As we are, young Murrays, that was the big dream, was the footy.
I think, as I was saying before, you know, the more you go, you grow.
Yep.
Older you get, you grow more, you know, and then, you unpack a lot of things that you haven't addressed in your earlier years
Yep.
starts to unpack itself. You know, when you start to become safe, you feel, you know, you got a supportive person around you. A lot of these things start to filter out into your working aspect, your family aspect, your individual grind and stuff like that. So like, I didn't really know too much. Like, I've never had it in my heart, bro. I've always told myself as a kid that I would never want to be violent or thing, but as I was saying, because of the impacts of trauma.
Yeah, and because of the progressive world too, brother.
Oh,
like,
yeah, bro.
what we see as violence, and the way that we try and not be like our fathers, and that the world's progressed, and even now I'm learning, like going through what I'm going through, even swearing is a form of violence, but we're taught in community and all that, like if you can say it and walk away, that's a good thing, where that's just not the case these days. You just, like, all forms of aggression is a form of violence, a form of domestic violence, or any type of masculinity today is a form of violence.
Telling somebody the truth, fuck,
Yeah.
you fucking cutting corners,
Yep.
that could even, you know.
But anyway, we don't want to go down that
Yeah.
path. But
Yeah,
with
but-
your poetry and your music,
No, but I think on that there too, bro. Like it's good that you mentioned that, because I want to relate that to what we're talking about here. You know,
Okay.
so like with the music and poetry, so a lot of that passion stemmed from the early impacts of trauma, letdowns, lonely nights by ourselves, getting busted up by all the fucking big brothers who you looked up to, and you know, loving and
living in fear. You know, for us that come from environments like this, the most safest place at night is in a dark cupboard somewhere where no one can see you.
Yeah, you know, fucking, and like even with that, you know, you because of these things, you're forced to either turn queenie and fucking and be a soft cunt, or an emotional wreck with mental health, drug dependencies, or you become hard, you know, and
or more violent than the other person. To protect yourself.
Like, I think that's what happened with ourselves, but you know, even with that too, like I think the more we got older and the more we grew, we've gotten better to articulate shit. We've aligned ourselves with other deadly warriors aligned themselves with us, and
Dake,
have a deadly day. Yeah, Murray. Yeah, so, you know, like, you unpack things, man, and I think, like, you know, these old, you know, you never force things. You should never force, you know, like as I say to my brother, you know, we are who we is. We are where we're meant to be. We might not be where we really want to be, but every day grants us an opportunity to proceed further and provide for our families, leave that legacy and community, you know, so.
Your words, brother, I love the brother, like I'm going through a bit currently, and every morning this brother speaks some life into me, and I'm telling you, it's that smoothness of his voice and the words he uses gets me up out in this sun. Brother,
you know, back to what you were saying there too, my bro, you know, like, not only just that, there was an inspiration, bro. Seeing brothers like yourself.
Morning, brother, morning.
Morning, morning.
Have a blessed day.
You know, like we get these brothers and uncles get out of jail that are vibing, thriving on spirituality, and they've altered, they're utilizing the masculinity. Have a deadly day.
Deadly.
Yeah,
Thank
you
you,
know,
man.
using that, you know, a date with themselves, a moment like of masculinity for an hour to really intensify through workout, through reading and encouragement, like let's get the best, you know, and a lot of them don't maintain the longevity in it, you know?
Yeah.
And then,
once a brother, they come out and they're high on life, there's going to be an obstacle sooner or later.
Temptations.
There'll be temptation. The devil likes to come in and disrupt your happiness, but also it could be a test from, you know, our ancestors. I believe, like, whatever the test is, you got to persevere.
You got to persevere.
You got to give. You can't quit. Like for the brother, which is where I want to get to, is like the brother's music, which I don't have social media. I've only just got social media and just starting to realise, you know, there's a world out here. But I'm just absolutely blown away where your music has taken you, brother. Can you give some of the brothers, some of the people out there listening, that even though you've unpacked and you've gone through what you've gone through, the success of you persevering has taken you where?
Took me around the country, my brother, you know, like fucking a mission, like, bro, going and cruising in Sydney, like fucking Melbourne. I'm like, holy cunt, you know, like literally the childhood comes out of me because I've never experienced these things as a kid, you know, like it's taken me to connect with all my brothers in the southeast there, my family down in the, you know, down in the south, all my mob up in the, you know, far north, where the naughty north, where all the noisemakers are at, you know, like, it's culture, man. Like, it really intensified my connections, really enabled me to be the fucking best that I can be, you know? Like, I was never a artist, my bro. As you know, I could be, you know, I've always been a person, like, as you can tell, I've been a person to articulate, you know? And it's on these journeys, my bro, like, you know, because of perseverance, like you just said, my cuss, like, you persevere, you might, you know, your first 10 cunts might be gammon cunts, but the 11th cunt is the best cunt, you know, like, and you know, all my time persevering, I've always, you know, the dream time, them old people always aligned me with somebody that you know, as a sign of hope, and you know, prosperity's on the other side there, bro. I came in contact with a lot of other deadly staunch warriors. Some of them might have been unhealthy in these areas or other areas, you know, like in terms of not being a full committed dad or shit like that there, but had good values and traits about them, you know. One of those things was even coming in contact with you and your speech, my brother, you know, like,
thank you, my brother.
A part of the movement, you know, seeing my brother, he, you know, he was labeled as a radical, you know, the same as what I get thing. You know, if you understand us and know us, you see where what our intentions are. It's pure.
We're
it's
activists
real.
for our kids.
You know,
we fully believe that, like we said, we've been in situations where we're in rooms screaming out, and then we get called the boys that cried wolf. Yeah, well, we want to change that. If kids are screaming out, us two are coming.
You know, like, you know, if you hold on long enough, fate will align you with the right people that you need to be with, you know, and that's other brother warriors, and you know, like, so, you know, these fellas, they don't surround yourself with people that are challenging your growth.
Yes.
People that are holding you accountable, people that are fucking inspiring you, man. Like, we spend so much time with people that aren't adding to our overall growth or where we're heading, you know, like, we love them, and we really care for them, we put our shit on hold, even though we haven't got our cup full. We don't have the fuel to even sit around and do that, you know. And that's why, hence why me and my brother thought, oh, fuck, you know, actually you can do it, you know.
Yes.
We can multitask.
Yes.
You know, if we can, it's about repetition, man. Capacity, building the capacity. So that's where a lot of, you know, like, as you were saying, bro, a lot of my thing came from perseverance, and then I'd align myself, you know, fate would align me with warriors like yourself.
Yes.
Even in the good experience, or good, you know,
because you're looking, eh, brother? When you're looking, now with that, when you're looking or you're praying and you're asking for something to come into your life, don't complain about how it comes in or how it looks. Just take what's good.
Yep. Even in the bads, man, like, you know, like to a lot of people, they'd say, oh yeah, fucking taking a bad, you know, like, because how I came in contact with my brother and other deadly warriors that are thing, you know, it was through a street gang.
Yep.
You know, went off track, and because of all this shit started to unpack itself, you know, like I already knew that I was strong and I'm a proud Birigaba man, but because of the testing, you know, the testing times of people questioning you, your capacity, your intentions, then you start to question yourself, you know, like, you know, and you know your intentions are pure and real, you know, and where you're heading to, you know, like, but I think because of the amount of head noises we have within ourselves and then people around us start to think, it really intensifies shit. So, you know, I encourage a lot of you fellas that are tuning in, or you young fellas that are listening to this, go out and fucking find your circle within. As brother was saying before, you know, people, this circle, what I'm talking about, I looked at that circle and I realized, like, fuck, man, why do we force ourselves into a fucking coffee shop where they could be potentially spitting in our fucking coffee?
Yeah.
Why spend money at a place where we're not really embraced or accepted, man, but our money is? Yep. Find your circle, get out there and fucking thing, like, and you know, like I said, it might not be healthy for a lot of people, but even though engaging in these, you know, self-destructive parts or whatever, you know, and my silver lining was you, my bro, you know?
Yeah, well, the big thing is we're told, like, this, well, here we go. I'm doing a program at the moment, Man Up, and a great question come across the table is, what validates a man?
Bro, what is it?
Who has that answer?
Exactly.
What determines that you're a good man? What, like, if we had to write out a list for a resume for a job for the real man,
what's normal?
What's on it?
What's normal?
And who validates that your way's the way?
You know, like, what's normal to you is not normal to the mass or to the minority. So, like, what is normal? It's the same thing with brothers saying,
what
you know,
is dysfunction?
Who validates that?
What is dysfunction?
You know, like what he was just saying, like what the whole concept of the point that I'm making, bro, is like, yeah, we go to the gym. We know we got to chuck on a different fucking hat, you know?
Yep.
But don't sell out or don't lose that authenticity, bro. Like everybody know at the gym, I talk with a slang. Everybody know at the gym that I'm proud. So anything that I do, I share, you know, if people are fully invested in things.
And you're fully embraced at the gym too, I just want to add. When the brother walks in, I get shocked how many brothers, like, and not just brothers, but mainstream, like we're talking Pacific Island, Maori, Murray, white
fellas, yeah, man.
Everyone hugs the brother.
Man, like it's, you know, like I always grew up, had great admiration for him. Like, fuck yeah, man, I would like to have that lifestyle. You know, some of these people that we look up to or think that they're parents or adults or elders or superstars, man, some of them aren't really that. But they rock up every day. That don't stop them from rocking up every day, you know?
Yep.
You don't, whatever you do, don't build an image or judge somebody on somebody else's fucking judgment. Get up, get out there, because that's, you know, only by stepping outside
there, get real.
Be the change you want to see, man. You know, share that deadly, like, you
that
know,
deadly vibe that you talk about, eh, my brother?
That's in my
You know, brother, so knowing that you've gone, especially with your music and where it's taken you, coming from the corner you've come out from, where to from here, brother? What's the mission from here?
Well, I've got more tracks in the work. I've got tracks that I've meant to be releasing like a year ago.
Yeah.
You know, for all you hungry fans out there, you know, for you potential fans that are tuning in, if you heard the song "Run the Ball Up Bus," me and my brother Big Noise, you know, so Worry Woods, Here Comes the Boogeyman, you know. So yeah, there's more tracks in the work. I've got tracks that need to be released. I'm currently in the process of seeking or looking out for a videographer in the region. CQ, if you're out there, you know, reach out.
Morning, guys.
Morning, lads. Morning. Have a good day.
Oh, from Japan.
Yes.
Oh, happy days. Nice
Have
to
a good
meet
day,
you.
brothers.
Some of our people from the Japan Defence Force here.
Yeah, the brothers.
Blessed. I won't put them on camera. I'm ex-military, so I understand that concept. So we're just going to move along a little bit here, get away from them.
Yeah, so I've got music in the works, ready to be released and stuff like that. There, it's just a matter of It's just a matter of
Morning, how
have a
are
good day.
you?
Yeah, it's just a matter of video clips now, you know. So no more shortcuts or second-hand jobs, bro. We, you know, with any accomplishment, there's no point in gains if we ain't willing to maintain the reins, you know, and level up, my bro. But yeah,
Family,
that's
cameras, hang on, my brother. I'm sorry to do this. I've got to take this camera out. Our thing.
Yes.
Anyway,
Yeah.
I've got us. There we go.
Yeah, so I've got music in the works, new stuff that's you know, to be recorded and released. If you're a videographer out there in the region, CQ, reach out to us.
Yes.
You know, we need to, even for this stuff here that we're doing, this you know, spinning a yarn with the brothers here, you know, like we put the request out there. If you wanna build up on your skills and stuff like I do, add to the movement, reach out to us, man. So I got music in the work, just opened up my own, you know, support business, being the change I want to see. The business is called Deadly Spirits. Our whole aim and concept of that is capacity building, due to my experiences of coming to mainstream and being kicked out of 2 schools in order to graduate the 3rd time. This is the approach that I'm taking. No kid deserves to be excluded.
And every kid deserves their screams to be heard.
That's it. So yeah, it's about capacity building, a bit unorthodox to your tier 1 contractors.
Yep.
So yeah, you know.
And for our men out there, that if we've triggered some things talking about what we're talking about, we have a program for men that focuses on dysfunction and rebuilding families, breaking addictions, breaking curses, breaking generational curses. It's a 10 to 15 week program run by specialists, not run by us. It's a program we're putting ourselves through as well. But we do have a program. So if you're a man out there and you're broken and you want to fix that brokenness, or fix a broken home, or get rid of the dysfunction and the curses over your life, reach out to us and we'll be able to plug you into that as well.
That's the message in all this, man. Like, that's the reason why we have to share our stories in order to hold these greater stories, you know, on a wider scale. So like through it all there, you know, like I've had experiences of trauma, impacts of you know, of self-doubt and all that stuff, you know, like a lot of things filter out in even on my good endeavors, you know, but all through that perseverance, like you said, my brother, you know, greatness is never too far, you know, perseverance, but also it aligns you, faith aligns you with people that's meant to be in your life. You get things that come into your life for a reason, and then people are in your life for a season, you know, so continue on your journey, and fate will align you with who you need to be, you know. So you know, if you ever out there and you aware of the movement, you know, we encourage you to get up, get active, get out there and share the love as well too. It's not a race thing, it's not a thing. The whole concept of this movement is waking up our warriors. We're sick of seeing men walking around with fucking warriors being destructive
all over themselves. And you got to remember, no matter what you got going in life and no matter what troubles you have, if you wake up and win the morning, the trouble's still going to be there. You're just going to be able to tackle it in a better spirit.
You're winning winning the battle of the mind, man, and you know.
Brother, I need that.
Yeah, my brother, have a deadly day, bro.
There you go.
You know, like that's what we encourage you to get up and add to the equation. Instead of fucking shooting people down, you're the problem.
Yeah.
Stop doing things the same way and start stepping outside of our comfort zone and being a solution to our own madness.
Yep.
Some of that entails us blocking out the worldview and watering our own garden at the start of the day.
It's healthy. It's healthy to have an opinion, and it's healthy to have a healthy confrontation, but only if the end result that you're looking for in that confrontation is to bring unity and come together, like what confront means, to come together, talk it out, so you can move forward in a positive light. What's unhealthy is spitting on people's names behind their back and throwing stones at people that are just trying.
Suffering and, you know, sitting there suffering in silence, you know, because somebody else owned in or made the most of the things that you know, failed to do so with, you know, like we can't be doing that. We gotta start, like I said, you change one activity every day, you'll see a greater change by the end of the week. And that's the same what we must do with, instead of being so reactive to things.
Yes.
Sit
still for a little bit, think about it, move forward. Win the AM, get the sunshine, be blessed.
You know, I text my brother here the other day as well too on Sunday, you know, like, relax, man. Like, you know, we get so driven into this thing that we never celebrate our accomplishment, self-love, you know, gratitude for self in order to give to the greater. So like, you know, accountability, you know, like I said, like brother said, you know, I text him every day because I know I can get that text message back from my brother. Or if I share this to another brother over here, it's gonna be tenfold, you know, like it's not about Budda Bux this or E-Rocks that. It's about being the change we wanna see and sharing that fucking deadly, man. Like, because, you know, you come to my community of Warrabinda or any other Aboriginal communities, like I was saying, you would never walk past, oh, morning. So the morning's set from the get-go on your greeting. So what you give is what you're gonna get back.
Have you got one final message for our people on this blessed day, brother?
Ooh, my brother, effort hits, continue on. Effort hits, continue on.
There you go, brothers.
Greatness is never too far, but greatness is never gonna keep waiting. Get up there and move around, fuck yes.
This is the Bro E, the Budda Bux.
Budda Bux.
And this is
River Yarns.